Hey, it's your Cosmic Auntie, the interstellar storyteller, and this is going to be a pick-a-pile reading for the full moon in Pisces. I'm recording this late at night on the 8th of September, so a couple days before the full moon. This could find you at any time during this moon cycle. So whenever it does find you, I hope it finds you as well as you can be. This full moon feels so cleansing. I feel very much, it's almost like a ceremonial feel to it. So many major cycles closing, which means there's major cycles beginning. And Pisces is exactly that. They are the ending, they are the beginning, they are the everything. The existence, the magnetics, like just the magnetic soul of existence. I don't even know what I feel like I don't even have the words to fully articulate the expanse of Pisces. They're kind of like, yeah, existence as a whole, and how there is a constant motion. And it's interesting because it's very windy where I am right now, and it's been windy for a few days, and it's almost kind of just a bit different for the time. It's like this ever persistent fresh gust. Things are just flying on by. It just feels like there's this earthy cleanse, this wind whipping through the valleys, the leaves, the streets, the buildings, the window panes. It's all just sweeping on through and shifting and out the old and ushering in the new. So I feel there's a ceremonial sense to it. And if you're finding yourself really experiencing, endings, because we all are in some way, we are constantly kind of experiencing different cycles and chapters, and they overlap and end and begin around each other. We're very complex beings, and nature is complex and has its own seasons, right? And then cycles within seasons within seasons, I hope this is making sense. I hope this is intriguing you to stay. And as I've been sharing my feel about this full moon, I hope you've been tuning into the piles, because this is pick a pile reading. Feel into what pile draws you in the most. This is pile 1, my grandma's cute kitty figurine. So that's pile number 1. Pile number 2 is a beautiful gift I received, a handcrafted gift of a feather. And pile number 3, the obsidian arrowhead, a gift I bought myself during a fierce phase of my life, reconnecting to my fierceness. This is something I bought myself. So take your time, feel into the piles. The timestamps are going to be in the description. So after you pick your pile, pause the reading, go down to the description, find your time, jump to that space in the video, and I will see you then, okay? So let's start with pile number 1. Let's get my plant in here. All right, pile number 1, let's settle in. Let's settle in. I wish we had a cup of tea or something. I should have thought of that, but that's okay. I have my plant. Let's make it cozy in here. The full moon in Pisces is a time to really find a cozy space and recharge and let these shifts take place. Pisces is the end of the zodiac. So there's endings and beginnings, like I said at the beginning of this video. I was gonna say at the front, but yeah, I don't know if you can hear the wind, but it's gusting, and I find it magnificent and refreshing. There's a cathartic, refreshing feel to this moon. Lots is being dredged up from like the past 10 years, it feels like, or even more, whatever time frame it is. Find time to really rest and relax as much as you can, okay? So pile number 1, let's jump in and see what your cards are. I got a visual for you. It's the ever popular corn. I don't know if you're around the internet at this time, but there's that awesome corn song from that like awesome kid who's just talking about how much he loves corn, you know? So I saw some corn, and it had 2 little like funky things, you know, corn holders at the end, and there's a couple bites out of it. And I, you know, immediately thought of Pisces. You have to have both, you know, anchors at the side here, the ending and the front, and the process is in the middle, which is the now. So let's lean into this and see what's coming up, pile number 1. So past, present, future. Okay. Interesting. So the cards that flipped over here, I'm going to pull some clarifiers as well as we go along, is the 4 of Wands in the past, the 7 of Swords in the present, and the Justice card in the future. So my immediate sense is some of you who may be attracted to this pile are maybe going... I don't know if you heard that. There's a wily energy out right now. It's getting up to this full moon, and it is wily. So some of you maybe who have been called to this pile, and maybe even just one of you, is perhaps navigating the, you know, justice system in some way. There may be a relationship breakdown, a divorce, different custody situations, things like that. There may be, yeah, some form of partnership breaking down due to challenging and confusing circumstances. The 7 of Swords is always a shifty energy. So there's also a sense of self-preservation as well to the energy. With the 4 of Wands and the Justice, there feels to be like some sort of manipulation that is like fueling this, you know, breakdown. So again, this could just be like for one of you who is attracted to this pile, and it doesn't have to be like it could be a marriage, but it also can just be any kind of like partnership, relationship, common law, anything like that. There looks to be like a celebration in the past, you know, a commitment. And the 7 of Swords is, like I said, there's a sense of self-preservation, and the cards around it really speak to whether or not it means like stepping into truth and power and taking power back, or someone really only thinking for themselves and being manipulative and being shifty and being tricky. So there's lots of angles and different sides to this card. So let's just full on pull a clarifier. So some of you may be experiencing that. Yeah, the Queen of Swords. there's it's so shiny. The Queen of Swords is known as being the heartbreak queen often. The Queen of Swords knows harrowing hardships as well as clarity and truth and justice, freedom, because of those things. There's something here like, I don't know, some of you may have just had enough with this dynamic and are bringing it to justice, taking, you know, back your power from a situation or a relationship that is draining your power and taking from you, and you're realizing that they're only kind of out for themselves kind of thing. I don't know. The Queen of Swords is such a fierce energy. It feels like there's a notion of enough. Some of you may be reflecting on a past breakup, divorce, legal battle, like, and finding the finality and ending to it, and like really coming to terms with it. So some of you may be coming to terms with the process of beginning this, the process of having stamina within it. Some of you, so some of you may be coming to terms with starting the process. Some of you may be coming to terms with trusting yourself in the process. And then others of you may be reflecting on past processes and coming to terms with it. And essentially there's a rebalance. All of you who are attracted to this pile are wanting to rebalance your energy, everything. You're everything. There's something that's taking you out of balance, and where it's going is rebalancing. So even if you're not going through the justice system or any kind of legal system, there's a taking power back, coming to terms with a toxic connection of some sort, and finding your truth in it. It's like there's a putting to rest. Again, this is the Pisces full moon. Like, this is the time to really give those chapters up to the moon, to release and put your stamp of finality to it. Carrying in your knapsack all the things, all the lessons that you've learned of value to you moving forward. So can I know more about this Seven of Swords? What's going on with that? Okay, yeah. Two of Pentacles. Okay, some of you may be experiencing someone who's been juggling different relationships, you know, juggling different commitments, being untruthful to, you know, the relationship, being unfaithful of some sort. Like, this is a tough reading. I'm sorry, pile number one, but we're going to get into it. And for those of you who resonate, you'll just know. You'll just know. So yeah, whether or not, so some of you may be, again, navigating this in a marriage, but like others of you may be navigating this in a friendship as well. I really do sense a certain romantic partnership with it. And whether you were married or not, there's a toxic situation here where there is, like, I don't know, a lack of commitment and juggling different people, and maybe you were among them, and they're taking your power back. And if you're, you know, some of those out there that are reflecting on a past relationship that has still had a certain grip on you, because the Seven of Swords can really linger kind of thing, because it's tricky, and this trickiness revolves around balancing. So that is, you know, someone didn't rise to the occasion of you. There was commitment, there was growth, there was, you know, milestones reached here in the past with this person. Like, you were committed to this person, whether you were married or not. And finding out all of these, I heard, shenanigans, has driven this breakdown, driven this shift, and it's challenging. Like, there's a balancing here, the Two of Pentacles, but then there's the Justice here, rebalancing herself and really like stepping into, like, the Justice card is really tapping into truth, tapping into knowledge. This is what I mean with, like, it can represent the justice system. So some of you may have to go through that process. Others of you are just essentially taking your power back and finding ways to create balance in your life after, again, being unbalanced in some way. The Justice card here is just so profoundly, like, courageous looking to me, and I want to really reflect that to you, pile number one. I want to reflect how courageous you are, and that you, if you are going through a relationship breakdown where you've, you know, come to an awareness that your loved one is kind of, you're experiencing manipulation or some sort of psychological, like, you know, intensity, sneaking around, like, really only thinking about themselves. It's really hard. That's really, really hard. And stepping away from that is so brave. Knowing that you deserve better, because you do deserve better. And with this full moon, this is a beautiful time to really, like, release. Feel your power sinking into the depths that you have mined. And with your sword raised and your scale, you know yourself, what you deserve. You're taking back what's yours out of grace. And again, for those of you who are reflecting, you've done this, you've taken those steps and moved away from this dynamic, or ended this in some way, or let it go, but have done some major healing and have been navigating that. The full moon is here to assist you in an even further release. Clarity on the Justice card for pile number one. Clarifier on the Justice card. The Seven of Cups. So I can feel like there's, it's so shiny, I know you can't really see it, but so I can feel that there's uncertainty and potential all wrapped up in this, in this clarifying card when it comes to the Justice. It's like there's so much to feel and to sift through is what I mean when it comes to your feelings. And I want to reflect that you know, with the Justice here, there will be more of a balance. You will feel better and stronger, and justice will be served, okay? And whatever, you know, that means to you, you will be, like, free of this. And this full moon is here to assist you in your further freedom, your further steep, I just saw a steeped tea bag. Steeped in your truth. Steeped in your truth. Trusting the wisdom of and intuition of your intellect. Like, you're smart. I hope you know that. You're smart. And as this situation unfolds, as you further step away from this, so much is going to come up. So much is going to be, I don't know, there will be murky parts. There you may experience really prophetic dreams or nightmares or things like that. Remember, you're not alone, okay? So as you navigate out of this, toxic dynamic, whatever it may be, but there's a toxic dynamic here. And I can tell that there's a lot of hope and love and commitment that was made, and it's disappointing. It's heartbreaking even. You're finding your power in it because what happened is not anything that you could have. You don't deserve any of this. It's so sad. It's so hard, but it's like with the Queen of Swords here, I can feel you kind of starting to see it for what it is and really, committing to the process of unraveling from this dynamic. And the Seven of Cups is kind of, okay, the Ace on the bottom. So again, your truth, your perspective, your ideas, your vision, your expression, everything. Like you figured it out and you see it for what it is. And I can sense you have, very secure thoughts, like, and truth on the matter. Like, so this full moon is here to assist you in further release, and is a ceremonial. If you even want to write things down, do a little ceremony, whether or not you like to do the kind of burn and release or things like that. I don't know. I find a little ceremony that may be helpful with, releasing some of the thoughts or the things that are coming up, the feelings, because whatever this was like tricky and strange and like not what you were expecting. You're gaining your bearings in it all. You've descended into this really deep part of yourself. Like the Queen of Swords is a Libra energy, which Libra in, I think, like Persephone, Roman, Greek, I don't know, but there's a myth. Persephone spends 6 months in the underworld and 6 months in the physical world. So going down into the depths, going into the underworld, and rising with her truth, rising within her power, right? This is something I sense with you, right? They come out of the underworld with a deeper awareness of themselves and their perspective, being fully open to interact with others but with strong boundaries, and knows how to enact them. So the situation is whack, and I can't even imagine. For those of you who resonate with this, I'm proud of you for walking away step by step from a toxic connection. And when it comes to that corn, it's like throughout the reading I heard one bite at a time. One bite at a time. And you don't need your hands firmly in the beginning and the ending, and one bite of a time at a time, sorry. One bite at a time. Corn. Listen to the corn song. It might help you feel really happy. And as much as it may feel murky in the future, there may be a lot coming up. Keep thinking about this Justice card, who is receiving that emotional information and, organizing it and balancing it in with the scales and the truth, so trust yourself, keep trusting yourself, Justice is served, answers will come, and a more ease and connection with yourself, your power, and your perspective. Is that the word I was thinking? Yeah, perspective is going to just feel, you're just going to feel better. I promise. It's going to be hard, but you'll feel better. And for those of you who are reflecting and this, relationship has remained a little grip on you, keep remembering like that you made the right decision. And with the Justice card here, you're much better off and much more in your power without this toxic connection draining your energy and keeping you guessing. But to love is so beautiful, and I hope that you can focus and remember, I hope that you can remember that you loving was never the issue. It's just that they couldn't rise to you. And it's sad, but you'll find people who rise to you, meet you, inspire you. So let's flip over some oracles. So we have Nematona, sacred space. Create an altar or visit a power place to connect with the divine. I feel too like this is a great way to reflect on that. This is a great way to... Sorry, it's my cat rooting around. I'm so sorry, pile number one. This need to create a ceremonial release situation, to really write down your emotions, write down like all of it, recount it, and have a little like in a coffee can, burn that paper and release it. That could be something that could be really helpful at the full moon. And go out to the moon if you can, if you have the time, and release those things. Create a little like space for yourself, a ceremony to fully release this chapter, because it is over and you're only going to rise further into your potential. Okay. All right, and we got earth healing. Let's see. I'm sorry, pile number one. Okay. Earth healing. You are making a real contribution to the planet through your spiritual journey. Remember this and believe that your needs will be generously met by the earth and the universe. What you are doing matters, and you will be supported. Wow. Yeah, so keep standing up for what is true. There's real like virtues coming through. Like, I can't remember all of them, like truth, beauty, justice. I'm not sure, like all, but maybe look those up, because I feel like you're really embodying those things with this process. I feel like you're standing up for yourself in some way. Maybe you're standing up for others as well, too. And when we stand up for ourselves, we really stand up for one another. And it's inspiring when we witness people doing that, and you're doing that. You're valuing yourself, and that's beautiful. So I feel like the full moon in Pisces wants to help you put the kiss, the seal to this chapter, to accept its unfolding, to reflect on how it went and let it go, stepping further into your power, your truth, your beauty. It's delicious. So I hope this was helpful in some way. I love you very much, and happy full moon. You got this. You got this. You're not alone. Ever, okay? You're so supported by the earth and the universe, and there's people in this world that love you very much. Lean on those ones you trust the most, that feel like home to you as you navigate this, as you or as you reflect on this and as you let go of this, wherever you are in this journey. So, okay, pile number 1, thank you. All right, let's move on to pile number 2. Hello, pile number 2. If you chose the feather, this is your reading, pile number 2. The gift that is a handcrafted, beautiful, it's a pin. You can like pin on. It's a brooch. I got it in the year 2000 and I was 10. So this is for you, pile number 2, the ones that picked the feather. All right, so let's flip over these cards. But before I do, I want to share the visual I got for you, pile number 2. I was looking into a corner, a dark corner, and then I saw this like metal bucket. I had like a lid attached to it. And it was moving out of the corner, out of the darkness, and I saw the shape, and then as it came out into visual, it all of a sudden was filled with gold. So that feels cool. That feels intriguing, feels abundant. It feels like a glow up. And I look forward to flipping over these cards. So let's do that. All right, so we've got the Knight of Voices in the past, the 9 of Inspiration in the present, and the 9 of Emotions in the future. I'll be pulling some clarifiers too. So I'll show you the cards. Knight of Voices, past. 9 of Inspiration, 9 of Wands in the present. And then the 9 of Cups in the future. So pile number 2, I feel an immediate sense of freedom and well-being, bliss, putting an idea forth, it's sticking to it. I feel like there's things that are really paying off around this full moon. Yeah. You've stuck to something. You've stood strong in it, and you've stuck to it, and it's paid off, and it's all fueled by your desire to feel better, feel happier, feel more bliss, feel more joy. It's like, you know, some of you may have, you know, started a business and have really seen it and really seen it through, you know, and really put a lot of effort into it. Stuck with it. Stuck? Is that a word? You stayed with it. You stayed with it, and it's paying off. It's bringing, I can sense these things are bringing great joy to you, and it's worth all of the effort. It's worth all of the belief in yourself, the action, the focus. Okay? There's like something I feel with the Knight of Voices. It's like an idea of yours, a truth, a vision, and you've put a lot of action towards it, and it's leading into greater happiness, bliss, abundant, emotional abundance. Let's pull some clarifiers. So the Knight of Voices, what's going on for the Knight of Voices in the past? It's like you felt an idea of how you could be happier, how you can live in, you know, more alignment with yourself and your bliss and your joy, and it's paying off. Like that, like bucket of, like, it came out of the darkness, it came out of this deep darkness. I couldn't even see the bucket. Then all of a sudden I just kind of was like, what is that? And it kept flowing towards me, and as I was right in the light, I could see it fully. It was empty, and then it was full. So you really built something. And some of you, again, might have started a business, grown in your position at work, excelled in school in some way, made changes in your life to feel better, to feel more space for your joy, for your bliss, for your peace, whatever it may be. You've had ideas about how you want to live and how you want to feel, and I sense pile number 2, it is about a joy-driven life and having space to feel into yourself, and to feel bliss, to feel happy, to feel emotionally safe. So what I sense from you, pile number 2, again, is you've had visions of what is needed, and you've stuck with it, and you've created it. And around this full moon, there's this like there's this reward. It's like, it's cool. All right, so Knight of Voices, what's going on? Clarifier, please. Ten of Inspiration and the Emperor. Wow. Yeah, for those of you who have picked this pile, like, you have made, like, there's some career moves or lifestyle changes that have been made in order to create the environment that you want for you to thrive in. I feel a very determined energy from you, and a willingness to sift through what has come to be and what is beginning, keeping only what is necessary to build the empire of your dreams. You know, the environment that you want to be in, the sovereignty of yourself. There's a freedom in this reading, and there's a freedom that's flowing through all of the energy of the full moon in Pisces. This moon really does want to free us from what has been done and over, and, you know, encouraging us to, again, like I said at the beginning, put the lessons that are valuable to us in our knapsacks and move forward. This moon wants to assist us in our freedom. And I feel like you have been really focused on that, like really thinking about what is important to you in life, and your emotional well-being is really what I feel has come through as an answer. And there's like ideas put into practice that has been making that happen. There's been deep shadow work, releasing. There's a lot of tuning into your passion, your flame, your power, and stoking those flames that align with that. Align with your vision. So with the 9 of Inspiration here, the 10 of Inspiration, there's so many blockages I sense from you, pile number 2, that you have broken through with the Knight of Voices. You've gone into those dark corners and you have shone that light. You have done that inventory. You have organized that attic. You have taken the stuff that needs to go. You have dusted the things that mean the most to you, and you're carrying them with you. You've done so much work. You've done so much work, pile number 2. And yeah, I sense like it's paying off. You're looking around and you're seeing the environment of your own making, your vision coming to life. 9 of Inspiration. We have the 6 of Emotions and the 4 of Emotions. So this is really for your inner child, and from your inner child at the same time. For your inner child and from your inner child. And when I say your inner child, this is the aspects in us that are our past selves, It's also our innocent energy, our creative energy, our like, you know, pure love kind of energy. The energy that like little kids have. We all have had that. As we grow, we still keep those like experiences, right? And that can be heavy and joyful all at the same time. But again, I sense you doing a lot of work, a lot of clearing, a lot of cleansing, a lot of releasing, a lot of inner shadow work that has been fueled by your inner child. There's a definite fuel here, pile number 2, of crying out for more, wanting more. There must be more to life. And I feel like it's really showing up for you because you've stuck to your ideas and your vision of life and your truth, and gone into those blockages and fought through them and smashed through those brambles, revealing the paths to the gems of your soul, plucking them and putting them in your crown, and creating like the life that feels good to you, and that is very much focused on emotional well-being. Like it's really beautiful. Okay, and then we have the wheel for the 9 of emotions, like, and the chariot at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so wow. With this full moon, take time to rest and allow the blessings to flow upon you, and to really let it sink in that this is the life that you have created for yourself, and it is real and it feels cool. I feel a lot of determination to like continue to build in the way that feels good to you, and I'm really excited for you. Because the emperor also like is creating a life, like the emperor, happy emperor is it takes care of themselves and the people around them, right? They have people that they're loyal to, right? And that they're loyal to them. And so I sense there's a, you know, a family focus or a group focus, community focus. You know, I sense that, you know, wanting to make yourself feel better is, you realize it's going to directly impact the people around you in a better way. So I feel that you've put a lot of determination into this. Action, focus, creativity, intention, and have built this thing, and or healed this thing, or both, like wherever you find yourself. I really love like pile number 2. I sense that there's an energy here that you've like, you are a lover, you are a warrior of love. And the future being the 9 of Cups and the wheel, like I sense that there's a time of, you know, just really being able to lean into ease and joy. And this is of your making, clearing the way and creating your life and readjusting it the way that feels good for you, so that you, that others feel good too, right? Like there's a real, again, back to the emperor, they take care of others as well as themselves, right? When it comes to that energy. I don't really like imperial references at all. Like that's why I say you're loyal to each other. There's a community orientation, a family orientation with the emperor. That's how I kind of like to read that energy. So I also just feel too, like some of you just want to like have really had ideas of standing in your own power and creating, you know, your own life. I feel like a lot of you are like self-made people, like, and we're all self-made people, but have really like stepped into their own vision of their own life, and have stuck with it. And I feel like it's really, there's a taking root. And this full moon is going to assist you in your further freedom. So let's do some oracle cards. Hathor, receptivity. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. So that's cool, because we were talking about, I think we were talking about receiving. I don't know if it was in the group before, but it's like, you know, rest and receive these blessings. And receiving is just as important as giving. This is a reciprocity here. And I feel like there's a real focus on that with you, pile number 2. Like, focusing on reciprocity, where you're valued, where you value others, and where your time is valued, where you have space to be and feel and do the things that really bring you joy. There's a real emotional well-being, emotional juiciness flowing into your reading. All right, so let's see here. Third ray of creative intelligence. All right. So the third ray of creative intelligence brings the gift of practical spirituality and develops the talent for grounding inspired creativity into the world. It empowers your manifestation. This ray brings many gifts, including new ideas and the practical support needed to bring them to life. The ability to organize, make connections and networks, and synthesize information from various sources into one coherent whole. Archangel Chamuel helps you receive this gift from the universe with love and intelligence. What a perfect way to conclude this reading. Yes, pile number 2. This ray brings many gifts, including new ideas, the practical support needed to bring them to life, the ability to organize, make connections and networks, and synthesize information from various sources into a coherent whole. There it is. It feels like exciting. It's like I keep being like, oh my gosh, is this real life? Like, you've dreamed it, you've visualized it, you've put it into action, you've put like so much energy towards it. With the 9 here, it's coming to like real fruition. And it's like the 9 of Cups is just so, it just feels so good. It feels so, I keep wanting to say juicy. Yeah, creative, blissful. And I'm so glad that you dreamed this into reality and worked so hard for it. One of my favorite tarot readers, Opal Oracle, she's like, the difference between a dream and a goal is a plan, and you've put a plan into action. Grounded spirituality and develops the talent for grounding inspired creativity into the world. What you bring is so important to the world, and it's also important to receive too. And I feel like whatever you have designed, how all the choices you've made to lead a more blissful life, to feel more better in yourself, sorry, my dog behind me now, is really taking root. And with the full moon in Pisces, the winds of change are whipping through, bringing in further freedom and bliss and new beginnings. So I hope this was helpful. I love you very much. I'm going to move on to pile number 3. Thank you for spending time with me, pile number 2. Oops. All right. So this is for pile number 3. The obsidian arrowhead. pile number 3. This is your reading for the full moon in Pisces. Okay, so hi pile number 3. Thanks for being here. I'm super happy to be chatting with you. I hope that you enjoy this reading. The visual I got for you, pile number 3, was at first it was a plate, like a oval white plate, and then a steak appeared, and some vegetables and some like potatoes, I think. Yeah, but it was like a skewer of vegetables, and then like a perfect little ice cream scoop of mashed potatoes, like in the old like diners kind of thing. And the steak had like one of those like perfect grill, like crisscross grill marks. And then I heard full meal deal, a full meal deal. And each item appeared one at a time, which gives me the feel, pile number 3, that you've worked hard at something, and received, leveled up one step at a time, received the resources one step at a time, was able to put together a full meal deal and nothing less, right? It's only the full meal deal. With this full moon, there's a total wisp of freedom in this energy. This full moon wants to assist us in freeing us from things that just no longer serve us, from the past chapters, deep past chapters as well, to free us into the opening of further potential, of leveling up in what really means the most to us. And so your full meal deal makes me feel that you value yourself, and there's been reward. You've ate. So let's see what's going on here. All right, so we've got the Chariot in the past. We've got the Queen of Pentacles in the present. And then we've got the Fool in the future. So yeah, you've put some real time, energy, resources into whatever it is that you're doing. You've gone for it. You've made moves towards it. You have put in so much motion and commitment and focus. There's been, yeah. Because I found it interesting, like each item appeared one at a time, and the Queen of Pentacles like makes it happen one step at a time, but when it's there, all of the hearty, nurturing goods are there, and it's the best of the best. Full meal deal, Queen of Pentacles, they are willing to wait and do it right. And so I sense that you have taken your time and done things right, and may have had a different timeline to other people. You may have done it a little bit slower, but each step, each item that has appeared on that plate that you've been working for, the full meal deal here, is the best of the best ingredients, healthiest, best prepared. Okay, and I hope that you can give yourself a pat on the back for that, because the Queen of Pentacles is so abundant, so successful. They're also so tender and grounded and yeah, like kind. And I sense you really have, I don't know, you really give a lot to your environment just by your energy. You're very like warm, I feel. And yeah, I really sense like a lot of effort, and it's paid off. Again, like you've ate. You have a full healthy meal in front of you, of your own making. You've probably, growing the vegetables. That's the Queen of Pentacles would probably take the time to learn how to grow everything that you've done to get where you are has been fueled by your own hard work, your own curiosity, your willingness to get your hands dirty and be really close to the things that you're creating, the things that you're doing, the things that you do as a person. You're very nurturing. What you take time to grow, it grows. And I feel like there's a whole new beginning opening up in your life somehow. With the Fool card in the future, this full moon is bringing a close to certain things and really like whisking you off into the future. I mean, like, you have all the nourishment that you need. Eat up that meal, my darling, because you need all the energy that you can get as you embark in a whole new direction, a whole new chapter. And it doesn't have to be like completely drastically new. Some of you, it might be a total pivot in some way, or some of you might be following a curiosity. Some of you may have a new opportunity, and it doesn't have to, it's not drastically changing your life. Again, some of you may feel like it is, and others like you're incorporating newness into your existing life. The Fool just brings a new beginning in some way. It talks about trusting the universe to guide them to the places that they need to be. And I feel that from you moving into the future. There's a calling of some sort, and a trust and an intuitive pull into the unknown to either add to things that you are that you're building, because the Queen of Coins grows wherever they go, or there's a whole new opportunity that's taking you in a whole new direction. I feel like it could go either way with people who are attracted to pile number 3. So let's pull some clarifiers and see. With the Chariot in the past, the Chariot is movement, the Chariot is focus, the Chariot is motion. And I feel a great amount of motion from the past to get to the point of the Queen of Pentacles, to feel, you know, solid in your body and in your environment, and seeing the fruits of your labor, the fruits of your making, filling up your plate with the finest ingredients, and doing things organically the way that is important to you, being present in all the steps of the process, right? So, okay, we've got the King of Coins and the Four of Swords to clarify the Chariot. Interesting. Some of you may have even inherited a business or inherited something from like your father or father figure, grandpa, something like that. It could be for just one of you out there. You know, and some of you may be stepping up in a family business, and really learning how to run it in your own way, with, you know, and finding a stride with that and taking it into a new chapter. So that could be a specific message for some of you, inheriting a family business or stepping up in a family business, and learning how to run it in your own unique way, trusting in your ability to do so, and really like succeeding in things. Like, there's a lot of richness, there's a lot of, like, again, that plate was filled, it was there, and it was tons of vegetables, tons of potatoes, like big chunk, like it was juicy, you know, like, so there's a way that I sense you really fulfilling this role, again, in your own unique way, and taking whatever it is that you're doing into a whole new chapter. And then there's another message I feel that may resonate with some of you who are attracted to this reading, is there may have been someone close to you that has needed rest and healing in some way, and this is rising into this Queen of Pentacles to take care of the situation, to handle the situation. I feel a lot of grace and a lot of poise. It may have been difficult. The Queen of Pentacles, you know, does go through a lot and has a lot of commitment and a lot of focus and a lot of trust in themselves to grow what it is they need to grow. So some of you may also be taking care of a loved one in some way, and really creating a life in order to do so. And there's, again, such an organic energy. So however this falls with you, there's such an organic energy when it comes to how you're handling something. Others of you may have had a time where you needed rest and healing, and you have had to take some time out to do so. And yeah, I just sense that. And then moving forward, I sense you creating, you know, continue to creating the life that you want and that you are creating, and being the person that you are. But some of you may have had a time out to rest and recover, and really have had to put a lot of energy towards that. And presently, with the Queen, let's pull. So right now with the Queen of Coins, you know, for the people that may have had to take some time out to rest, there's a rebuilding energy with the Queen of Coins that's coming through. And then that ushering into the new beginning. Interesting. So however this falls, y'all have stepped up, handle the situation, clarified the Queen of Coins with grace. Whoa, with grace, compassion. But, you know, I also have to mention that the Queen of Pentacles is not to be messed with. Okay, so we got the Devil card. I'm going to pull another clarifier. The Queen is not to be messed with because they know themselves, and they're getting to, you know, you're getting to know yourself. So why did the Devil come out here? 5 of Chalices. Okay, so pile number 3. I sense that there's a feel of loss. There's a feel of loss here, and it may have been challenging to step up into this role. If, you know, you are some of those people that resonated with taking over a family business, or, you know, a business that you had with your partner, or having to step into a soul role in order to handle life and caretake in some way. Like, it's hard, and I sense it's really bringing a lot of triggers and intensity. And like, I want to say that it's interesting because I would have never known if I didn't pull these clarifiers. So I sense that you're really keeping it quite internal. I don't sense it's being suppressed at all. I feel like you are aware, and give it space. The Queen here, there's a certain wisdom and patience that they bring into it. So I sense you being aware of it, feeling it, giving it space, because that's what the Devil energy needs. This 5 of Cups needs a lot of space, and to be, you know, kind of embraced and integrated back into, you know, love, or certain things released, ties cut. There's a lot of work that needs to be done based on what is coming up for you, and that's going to look different for each and every sensation that comes up when it comes to sadness, loss, and grief. A lot of you, you know, may be grieving. And I keep looking at this like Fool because they kind of look like they're in the fetal position. And maybe some of you is like this new beginning that you just like really, I heard, didn't ask for. And it comes you know, a point of loss, and I sense you continuing to step forward in it, because that's what we have to do. You know, the time keeps moving, but it doesn't mean that time keeps moving, but it doesn't make it easy. It's a relationship building. It's a relationship building with your new reality, and I feel like a lot of you have really done that and are doing that. And maybe even feeling a little bit more secure in your process and in your choices when it comes to how you're moving forward and handling the situation, and feeling more confident in yourself, feeling closer to your family members. You know, some of you with the Queen of Pentacles here and the King, like, you know, this is kind of very much parental energy, feeling close to your parents in the way you're handling this in some way. I also feel like a lot of you are reparenting yourself, really showing up for yourself like a mom would or a dad would, how you would talk to a little child. I feel like that's very much how you're speaking to yourself or trying to speak to yourself. So with the new beginning, the Four of Cups and the Ace of Wands, this is why I heard the words that you didn't necessarily ask for, but you are, you know, embracing as best as you can, finding your voice again, your truth, having new ideas. It's sad though, because like the Four of Cups is really looking at the Three of Cups, that past kind of, and that energy, and there's an offering usually from beyond, and you know that it's to be, you know, taken, and it's going to, you know, maybe lead to things that feel even better and feel even, you know, you know what I mean? Like, there's a sense of loss here. I know, like, there's a sadness that's coming through. There's a grief, and I'm not wanting to move on or move forward. And just, I want to let you know that grief is a process. Grief never, like, goes away. Time, it gets easier. I know that sounds cliche, but it does. But it doesn't mean that there's not going to be things that trigger you or remind you of the people that, you know, you've loved and lost in some way, or those, you know, your life before you had to step into these roles or caretake in some way. But I want to let you know you're doing a really good job, and you're handling this with grace, and I sense there's success. Like, you ate. I hope you can give yourself a pat on the back. Like, that was a full plate of delicious food from your own making, from your own effort. So please take time to eat it. Nourish your spirit, your mind, your soul, your body, everything. And it's going to fuel you in your new beginning, and everything that you love will come with you. You know, it's hard to lose people you love so much. You miss them so much. But something that I really have been reflecting on, my guy and I were talking about, I think it was chemistry, and he was saying that, like, once something is, like, created energetically, it can't be uncreated. And so there's a transmutation with loss. There's a kind of relationship building with their energy and your energy, and moving forward one step at a time. Like, again, the each item of that plate arrived one step at a time, once at a time. So as much as it feels hard to move forward, move on, I sense you also finding new, fresh ideas and ushering, you know, yourself into a whole new beginning. There's a certain confidence I feel in your self and the way that you choose to do things and run things, create things, and there's a lot of bliss that is unfolding due to this. So I hope this was helpful in some way. I want you to know you're doing awesome. And, you know, if you've picked this pile and you haven't, you know, taken over a family business or anything, I sense that there's a grief story here. And learning to live your life again and not only survive but thrive. Finding your truth and moving forward with new, fresh ideas and visions. And I just want to let you know, like, that you don't lose anything, that, you know, your loved ones will always come with you. And yeah, this full moon is going to assist in releasing and guiding you into greater freedom. And I feel like you have some very interesting ideas that I look forward to hearing about. So if you feel called to, please share with me if this resonated with you. I want to hear about your new ideas moving forward, about your life, about yourself, just your thoughts. Like, I really feel an awareness of your mind or something. Yeah. You've done a lot of deep work. You've handled a lot of stress. You've taken time out to rest. You know, for some of you, like, if you resonate with that rest story, like, you've taken some time out to rest and you're rebuilding in a new way, and honoring your sadness, honoring your truth, honoring your light, and feeling it all at the same time. And that's Pisces moon style right there. So the moon is your friend always, and with a full moon is a beautiful time to release what has come to fruition. And I've been telling everybody, create a little ceremony that feels right for you. Okay, Irene, peace. There is no need to worry. Everything is working out beautifully. So like more, this like maternal energy, the Queen of Pentacles as well. Peace. Everything is working out beautifully. And I see it here in the cards. I feel a lot of drive, a lot of love. I feel a lot of heaviness, and I encourage you to continue to delegate, release that heaviness to further step into this new space that the Fool is bringing in. So no need to worry, everything is working out beautifully. Okay, and then we have the Eternal Now. So Eternal Now. Within you is a great strength and courage. However, just because you can manage to keep going when you are drained or stressed doesn't mean you have to do so. You are encouraged by your higher guidance to request assistance in letting go of tension within your mind and body. You will gain energy through this release and perhaps even see things in a new and more optimistic light. Shifting into a more present, relaxed, and enjoyable state of being will help you overcome the past and successfully create your future. Wow. So some of you may need to rest as well. Take time to rest. Even if you're very busy, try to create some unstructured time within structured time. It is essential. Some of you may have been burned out and you're coming back again, and there's a lot that's still coming up to address, grief-wise, loss-wise, finding your truth in the matter. So whatever it is, wherever you're finding yourself in this narrative, if you are resonating with this, please take time to rest. Please take time. And if you're one of those people that is a caretaker in some way, and you're stepping up into certain roles, as well as like, you know, your own life and stuff like that, is essential to rest. And if you're those ones who are taking over a family business, you can feel like you could go, and you don't want to disappoint people, even if, you know, like you're exhausted. Take time to rest. You're doing a good job. All of you are doing a really good job. Super good. And I love feeling that you've put in your own personal touches on things. It's working out. Eternal now. You will gain energy through this release and perhaps even see things in a new and more optimistic light. Shifting into a more present, relaxed, and enjoyable state of being will help you overcome the past and successfully create your future. Happy full moon in Pisces. Work with this moon. This moon is powerful. It is whisking through our lives like the winds of change. Outside my house, I say that because it is so windy. And it's almost kind of like, it's magical. I love it. It's freshening up everything. And this moon is freshening up everything as well. And with the Mercury retrograde, there's a time to really rest, recharge, restore, and release. Okay? Ushering in the new. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, pile number 3. I hope this was helpful in some way. Happy full moon in Pisces.